Good morning and welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone on Tuesday the 26th of June 2018. I'm Darren Sinden and you can follow me throughout the day on Twitter by using @ds_Pepperstone. Right, let's take a look at overnight changes and price moves to be aware of. I just want to flag a couple of key points today. First of all, some of the majors fighting back against the US dollar. The euro making gains of 0.12% overnight, trading at 117.16 shortly before we recorded the video. Dollar yen, the yen gaining ground itself against the US currency, improving by 0.19%, and the dollar yen trading at 109.55. And the dollar has made gains against the Korean won as well, 0.36% to the good, the dollar against the Korean currency. However, perhaps rather oddly, dollar index itself is lower at 94.21, down by around minus 0.07%. So only a marginal fall, nonetheless one that contradicts the moves in outrights against other major currencies. Right, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the markets today. Not too much in the way of high impact data, but plenty to get our teeth into nonetheless. We have kicked off very early this morning with a speech from Benoit Coeur of the ECB. That was at 2:20 GMT. As we'll see, there are more speeches to come today. And at 8:30 GMT, we have first of some UK data, the British Bankers Association mortgage approvals data for May. And then at 9 o'clock, the second of the day's central bank speeches, MPC member Haskell speaking in the UK. He's followed onto the podium at 9:30 by his colleague MPC member McCafferty. We'll also this morning have 30-year and 10-year UK gilt auctions. Be interesting to see what the demand and the prices paid there are. 10 o'clock we'll see the CBI Distributive Trade Survey for the month of June. That's the Confederation of British Industry, so worth looking at that perhaps. And then over to the US at 1300 for the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index data for April, and at 1400 the latest in the regional Fed manufacturing indices, and this time it's the Richmond, Virginia Fed and their manufacturing index data for June. 1700, the next of our central banker speeches, and this time FOMC member Bostic is speaking. And then at 17:45, his colleague Kaplan, also an FOMC member, will be taking to the stand to speak. 2030 sees the API weekly crude oil stock data released in the US, and then we jump forward to 22:45 for perhaps the pick of the day's data, and that is New Zealand trade balance data for May. You'll recall that New Zealand saw some poor GDP numbers recently, and the currency weakened on the back of that. Markets will be hoping for a decent read as far as the balance of trade is concerned for the land down under. Right, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye. First of all then, US equity indices finished the session down by as much as 2% on the latest trade war concerns, after Harley-Davidson said they would offshore some production to avoid EU tariffs. Meanwhile, US Defence Chief James Mattis is to visit Beijing for talks on North Korea, and he will also visit South Korea and Japan on that trip. Some better news perhaps here for Greece, as S&P have upgraded the Greek credit rating to B+ from B, and has said that the country's outlook is now stable after the recent talks and agreement with the EU. Right then, food for thought, something to take away with you into the trading day and beyond. And why not think about this? Japanese investment bank Nomura is the latest to write on the risks to global growth, and the bank now believes that GDP has peaked and will decelerate going forward. It sees Europe and Japan as the developed market underperformers looking ahead. And the chart to the right shows the risk that they see to the global economic outlook and the direction of travel in those risks as annotated by these arrows, upward, downward or sideways. Right, please take a moment to read the risk warning. Trading CFDs and foreign exchange on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about those risks or the suitability of the products for you, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative. Thank you for your time.